Hello. Today we're going to talk about 3 critical mistakes you can make with your elevator pitch that I don't want you to make. So listen up, you all. Whether you're a brand new health coach or you're just starting to think about getting coaching and you're in your certification process, or whether you've been doing this for a few years and you just need to get more traction and more business going, more steady income, you need to listen to this, please. So when you do your copywriting, this is not going to sound copy related, let me just say this, but it's very important and key, critical, significant part of copywriting if you do it properly and effectively and really want to get results. Because if you're not strategic about it and you don't follow these first 2 steps that I encourage you to follow, you're not going to feel necessarily aligned with everything in your business, and you won't have a clear vision of what it is you're offering and who you can help, and you're going to sound all kinds of wordy, unclear, and all kinds of things that you don't want to sound or come off on paper or screen like. So let's talk about elevator pitch. Okay, this can be called your purpose statement, your mission statement. I don't really care what you call it, but you need one, and you want it to be good, right? So let's think about it like this. This is your billboard. It is online, and today we're talking primarily about online elevator pitches. This is your online billboard, and if people aren't sold on what you're offering right away, they're just going to keep clicking away to look for a different coach. So you want to capture those eyeballs right away and get people continuing to read what it is that you do. Now, there are different types of elevator pitches. There are 1 minute, there's 90-second elevator pitches, 30-second, 10-second, all of these different things, and they all serve different purposes. So I am not bashing any of those. I'm simply saying online, well, let's say in the real world, you only have 5 to 7 seconds when you're driving past a billboard to get attention. And honestly, that was 10 years ago when I was in the business, so it's probably less attention now because people don't have the same attention spans. If it was 5 to 7 seconds for a regular billboard 10, 12 years ago, online it's going to be about 3 to 5 seconds at best to get people's attention and keep it on your feed or page, right? And your elevator pitch can be used as part of your profile, your header on your website page, and all kinds of places. It's not going to be verbatim, but it's going to be conceptually there, okay? So you want this billboard to be powerful for you, and how do you do that? You need to avoid these 3 things. You don't want to be too wordy, and I'm going to share some examples of this. You don't want to be too jargony, and you don't want to be too vague. Wordy, jargony, or vague. Now, you can be more than one of those at the same time, and it's not a fine line, but between vague and wordy. But if you don't do these strategic pieces in the background, in the front of doing your writing, then you're going to be one or the other very likely. And you can feel like you're super clear. I don't know how many health coach pages and feeds that I look at, and I'm like, they think they're being clear, but it is not clear and it's not specific. And now that said, in the wellness industry, it's really easy to be too jargony. So you don't want to be so specific. Like I've talked about this before in a live, metabolic balance and mast cell actives, I can't even pronounce it today. You got me. You know what I mean. All the different health issues that people don't necessarily know about. They're not familiar with those terms, and those terms aren't going to strike them as much as simple terms, right? So you don't want to get so jargony and specific that you lose people because they're not understanding what you're talking about. But you need to be specific enough to give meaning to what you're doing. If you're talking about metabolic balance, then maybe you're ultimately talking about getting yourself to a healthier weight or feeling a certain way being very specific because you're talking to a specific person. I'm not going to get into ideal client today. That's a whole nother episode. But the point is you want to be specific. So I'm going to share with you my own example, how my elevator pitch has evolved so that you can get an idea of this. And I'm going to read from, because it's that long. Okay. So in the beginning, I was focusing on wellness professionals, kind of generally speaking. And then I decided I should narrow down to a health coach as somebody suggested. But I was like, that's very specific if I just pick one type of wellness professional. And I hedged for a long time, and then I realized I wasn't getting any traction. So I took that advice finally. Don't wait that long, y'all. Don't wait that long and be stubborn like I was. Okay, so this was my my elevator pitch. So health coaches can be ever present without skimping on their own self-care. I write or coach them to write powerful messages their clients can't ignore through websites with search engine optimization, SEO, blog posts, email campaigns, or social media posts. Which of the big mistakes did I make? Post in the comments. The next pitch that I got a little less wordy with, but I bounced back out to being broader instead of the health coach niche. I said, I help wellness entrepreneurs with content writing and writing coaching. Okay, what the hell does that mean? It was too jargony and too vague, right? Because content writing is pretty vague, yet it's a marketing term that you may not really understand what it means. Writing coaching is vague. That could be a book writing. I've written a book. I did not coach you on writing a book. So, it's just, and what does that get for you? How do you even know that you need me? You may not think that you need me when you do. So now my current elevator pitch is I help new health coaches get clients through client-focused copy. Notice I didn't have to read to say that, and it's very concise. It's memorable. You can tell what I do, what I'm going to help you do. You're not just learning to write for content's sake or whatever. You're trying to get new clients. So that is how you can evolve your own elevator pitch and make it much more powerful and impactful. So keep in mind that I do write for all wellness professionals still, chiropractors, naturopaths, nutritionists, fitness trainers, all of the things. I can still write for you all, but I only focus on you, health coach friend, when I am crafting my messages, doing my lives, doing my emails, doing my other social media posts. I have one person in mind, and it's in fact not just a newer health coach. It is somebody, that I have kind of drawn out and described on paper very specifically. So that is a process that I strongly encourage you to do. I think that everybody needs to do this process. And if you want help doing this, then I have you covered. I have a free elevator pitch workbook, and I'll leave the link in the comment, in the caption. And, whether you're getting copywriting done for you or not, this is a process that you need to do to get clear. So don't skimp on it. Don't think you've got it figured out. Go through this. I encourage you to go through it. Go through the steps again and get even clearer. All right. This is also something I can coach you through on a call, but I encourage you to still take a look at the workbook first because it's free. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back soon.